Anush, how is this study abroad counseling process? Did you find it easy? Did you find it difficult? What all application, documentation process? Can you help us with that? Go through that. How was easy it was in the entire process? What all things have to be done?
So if I'm talking about all the countries that I have tried for four countries: US, Ireland, Germany, and Australia. Ireland, Germany, you had helped me through. But if I'm talking about the whole study abroad program, I would say it is difficult. Because I remember my whole 12th grade. My mind was shuffling to three things. One were the entrance exams like SAT, IELTS. Then another was the college exams, my board exams, and the third thing was the study abroad preparation. So like my essays, my applications. So whenever I was doing one thing, my mind would be focused on the other, and it is actually quite difficult. But I would say having a good guidance is very, very important. It's very crucial to have it. I know people who have done it themselves, but if we want like a really smooth journey with like more mental focus, better results, I would say a good guidance is very, very important. Study abroad is definitely hard, yes, but I don't feel it's impossible. I think it is possible if you put enough time, if you put enough efforts. I think I was able to handle all three things very well. So yeah, that is there.
Now, that leads me to one more question. That is basically, most students basically what they do is they spend lakhs of rupees for for studying abroad, but they find counseling expensive. How do you justify them?
What do they find expensive?
They find joining a counseling center, paying basically maybe some fees to the counseling expensive. How do you justify them?
uh I wouldn't lie. Even we did think it is, expensive because counselors had a big range of that. I know there are counselors who charge 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs also, but I feel it is important. Like, I think keeping fees aside, the person is more important who is guiding us. Because if he is well versed with his job, he will help you top to bottom completely. You can get good scholarships. Okay, you won't have to spend the lakhs on the university. If he can help you with your scholarship, with the financial grants, with his connections, and going to a good university ensures that you have a high return on investment value. So the counseling fees after you have finished university would be very minimal, I would say. And a person who is working abroad would cover it in a month easily, easily, very easily, month or a month or two, very easily. So I would say not to be reluctant in spending money for good counselors. But yes, do find good counselors. That is very important.
Right. Perfect. So, it's like sometimes you spend on iPhone, you spend on not many things, but then let's say spending 40, 60,000 or 50,000, whatever, basically, or study abroad counseling, you find it's not worth, you can do it on your own. But I feel that it's probably could be a most worst decision because if you get into the wrong universities, if you
Yes,
don't get scholarships, if you basically don't get visa, okay, there's a lot of risk involved, which can basically ruin your career. So I don't find it worth, which you said is right, that people can work for a month or maybe two and get that money recovered. Okay, so
easily,
it should not be
easily.
possible. And if they can spend lakhs, they can, I'm sure, spend few thousands as well.
Yeah,
So,
yes.
okay. Perfect. Now, Anshul, you have understood that. What about the visa process of Jaipur? In your case, you did from an international school. APS was not required.
Hmm.
Okay, you had applied for APS and then they waited for a long time and then they called you up and they said it was not required. Can you guide through that process, APS process as well as the visa process as well?
Okay. So firstly, all Indian students are needed to apply for APS, except for the ones who are learning in Cambridge, who are learning in IB schools. Okay, I am pretty sure ICSE are still required. So I would say don't apply at all to APS. I did. Now, like they did not give me any refund, but they just called me, said that we are just dismissing your application because you don't fit into our application requirements at all. So it is very expensive. I think it costs around 8,000 to 16,000 rupees. So that was a little waste for me. But yes, so we did learn it the wrong way, the hard way. So APS is required. Other than that, we have to book our accommodation. We have to check for a good travel insurance. We have to check for and we have to apply as early as possible. Okay. And I would say keeping a rock, like giving extra documents, it will not hurt. It is better than having lesser documents and then they are mailing you that, okay, please send me this, please send me that, charging you extra for it. It is much, much more better if we give extra documents. Also, the people in the VFS center are also very helpful. Like I know the lady who helped me, she arranged all my documents. Uh, if there were any missing documents, she had it called very fast, printed it also very fast. There was like no problems that I faced over them. Other than that, visa process for Germany is not that difficult. I would say it requires the very basic documents, um, your accommodation proof, your university acceptance, all of that. And yeah, it is not too difficult, does take time, but I think if we plan it well, I think it will, work out quite well. We can apply for a
So,
visa on time then.
perfect. I see, I have a student, okay, for Germany, who has done his education from Qatar. He has done it
Okay.
from Dubai, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Stays in Qatar. Okay, he's an Indian student. Okay, so actually, he has not done his education from India. So
Yeah.
APS is not eligible, valid for him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but the university emphasizes on APS. Okay,
Oh,
and we had to literally, basically, negotiate, call, email, do everything possible, and finally we got the universe saying that okay, no, APS is not equal. Okay, because sometimes this, this thing is not very clear still. Okay, we are right. International schools like IGCSE, IB don't require, and people who have studied from other countries don't require. Only India and China requires A plus.
yes.
Okay, people who have studied from Indian education system and people who have studied from Chinese education institutes, they only need basically APS. But still, there is some problem going on at present, and APS doesn't respond. The most difficult part is APS doesn't
Yes.
respond.
Yes. They
You
don't
write
respond
to
at
them,
all.
they don't reply. There are no way of reaching out to APS, clarifying the doubts. Okay, so sometime basically because of deadline pressure, because of all these things, right? So in case of yours, you had a loss of around 16,000, which was sad.
Hmm.
Okay. Now coming back to your process. Now that you have got your admission, you have got your visa, you got your visa in basically few days, which
Yeah,
was
in
very
a
quick,
week. Exactly in a
very
week.
quick. And your program is starting by the end of before the end of this month, right? You are going for
Uh,
pre-semester.
yeah, it's
So
on 31st July.
so so you have planned anything? You have booked your accommodation. You have made some friends. How you are going about that?
So I have booked my accommodation, and that is inside the college campus at CBS. I will be making friends over there as soon as I go. For now, I am searching for my plane tickets, my travel tickets, how to get there. And yeah, for now, that is the plan. I'll be starting packing. I'll be start packing soon. And yes, that's it.
Okay, one more thing I forgot about you is blocked account. You had some issues with blocked
Oh,
accounts.
yes.
Okay, tell me
So
about that.
yeah, so on the German website, I think on the VFS, no, the German missions website, they openly promote Expatrio. Okay. Now, Expatrio is definitely a good service. I won't say no. But the thing is that they don't have blocked accounts for minors. And there are other two service providers also. I think it's Conclave, and then there's another one with a P. So they also do provide this, but they two of them, they are not eligible. Like minors are not eligible to be blocked account holders in that. So in that case, we searched more and we found out that Kotak Bank is one of the only banks in India that has a link to German missions and also has the blocked account facility. So after speaking to my senior and many more people, they suggested I go for the Kotak bank account, Kotak blocked account. So yeah, that is what I went to. But most of the time, I was pretty much behind Expacture trying to find out why my blocked account wasn't verified. So yes, so a little bit of time did go in there, but other than that, my Kotak blocked account was pretty smooth. It happened very fast. One visit from the banker, and that was almost it.
Okay. So Anshul, one thing is good about you. You are good in networking. You reached out to a lot of people. You connected with your school,
Hmm.
and I'm sure this networking will help you in future as well because life is all about networking. The more you
Yes.
reach out to people, the more you talk to people, the more you connect to people, the more opportunities you will find your way. So I am sure basically we will get a lot of opportunities in Germany. As I've said, I'll add you to our alumni group. So you can always be part of us. You can always share with us anything that you want. You can connect to me, no problem. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you very much.